Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bikini in the Brain. I'm here with the lovely, the patriotic Ashley Cotwasser.
Hello.
I love the fit today, Ashley. Looking good.
Perfect timing for 4th of July.
Yes, yes. In freezing cold.
Yes.
Yeah, are you guys freezing out there? I feel bad for everyone who's freezing out there.
Yeah, a lot of storms were happening over the weekend. I know my parents from Ohio told me they're like snowed in and they had to stock up on food and everything. A lot of flights were delayed and canceled from the weekend in Orlando. Mine got delayed 4 hours, was not happy about that. Yeah, on the way back was delayed 4 hours. So
How was it? How was the seminar?
it was fun. It was really fun. It was good to see everyone. We had some podcast listeners there at the event too, and Sandy always puts on a great show. Lots of knowledge to be had there at the seminar. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Just not the flight back.
Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah, I figure it's going to be like, it's weird. I have clients that are already going through it, and we're having some with extremely like decreased activity and then some with extremely increased activity.
Going through the snowstorm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're not doing anything. They're just sitting at the house all day. And then the other ones are like, I have to shovel for 30 minutes, like 40 minutes to keep my driveway from like keep going. And they're just getting like tons of heavy snow. And that's a lot of activity. It's a lot of calories burned.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Remember that life?
I know
Colorado.
I gotta admit, I'm pretty happy I don't have it anymore. But the thing, you know what's different though about this like big cities and small cities is that I had a small, like I had like little hatchback. I love those little hatchback. I had a little hatchback in Colorado and I loved it. And then there was so much snow one day, I like got stuck on my street and I was like, damn it. I was like 2 houses away from my house or maybe a house away from my house. And I was like, well, I guess I got to shovel like into here because they didn't have the street people come yet. But in Colorado, it's such a small town. Everyone's so nice. All my neighbors came outside and shoveled the whole street and my driveway just to like, because, oh, you're stuck, buddy. We'll get you out. And I'm like, I'm so not used to from LA, you know? Like, so I'm like, what do I do here? I tip them? Like, what do I do? Like, they're like just nice Colorado hometown neighbors, you know, they're just nice people, you know, so like I bake them a cake. Like, what do I do here? You know, like they didn't even care. They just came and did my whole driveway, the whole street. And they're just like, yeah, we got you, buddy. You know, next time if I'm like that, you get me too. I was like, 100% I'll get you, you know? So,
oh, that's so nice.
But in Vegas, you'd be, you know, would it go?
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, I kind of miss the snow sometimes in the winter because it's like, especially on Christmas, because it definitely sets the mood a bit, you know. In Vegas, it's not really Christmas. I feel like it's kind of like palm trees everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm not complaining how nice it is right
four
now.
seasons sometimes, but
yeah. I just knew I could never like spend my older years out there because you slip and fall, man. It's catastrophe when you're like 70 years old and you slip and fall on the ice. Like it's catastrophe, you know. So I knew I was like, I can't. I slip every year, like at least once a year. I can't live out here when I retire out here. It's just too dangerous, you know. So I guess that's the LA and me talking. All right, guys. So today we have a lot to talk about. We are talking about some of these announcements that are going on in Fit Model, or I guess I should say in Bikini, where people are going to Fit Model. This is crazy town. What's happening right now in Bikini? And this is, you know what I'm happy about? I'm vindicated in what I've been saying this whole time. Everyone's like, no, it's not going to be like that. I'm like, no, it's going to be like this. A lot of bikini pros who can't reach the muscular development of bikini are going to go to Fit Model. It's a logical path, you know?
Yeah.
And we're seeing it like create some big announcements over the week.
Yeah. And keep in mind, there hasn't even been a pro show yet. So there's more to come. We're just, you know, picking up on some of them that crossed over or was bold enough to make the announcement. But keep in mind, some of these competitors aren't going to like say it because it does put a little more pressure and eyes on them. Some of them want to be more low key and just be like, you know what? When I show up, that's when you're going to find out. So how exciting, because we do have our first Pro Fit Model show in February. Do you know the exact date on that by chance?
No, but I can look it up.
So that's very soon. It's coming up very soon in February. And I think it's going to be such an exciting event. And in fact, we should hopefully the timing is right, because we could live stream it too. I'm like, this one I'd actually really want to see. But unfortunately, with it being in Japan, who knows when the time would be on that.
Yeah.
But
that'd be cool if we could do that. We should ask if they'll let us like do it from over here, like talk about it as it's going on.
Like you mean a live stream of the live stream?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do that.
Or is it going to be like 4 a.m. anyway? The last time I did,
don't know.
when Yume was competing, it was like 2 a.m. when the show got done. It was like crazy. Yeah.
But
screw that notice.
But apparently word on the street is there's already like, I think up to like 45 now, or maybe I'm wrong.
Way.
40
crazy
or 45.
Town.
that's already entered. And here's the thing. Most pros will just sign the contract the day it's due, because there's really no advantage of you signing a contract early other than maybe a mental, like, all right, I'm locked in now. And so you're probably going to see more. So again, that's the word on the street, but who knows how valid that is? You know, I could be totally wrong. So don't quote me. It's just what I heard. Okay.
That's crazy. So it's the 28th. It is in
Okay.
February 28th.
February 28th.
So thank you for that.
Thank
and
you.
then, yeah, so we are, gosh, we're like a month out almost, from that show. That's pretty cool. I had a couple clients that wanted to do it, and I was like, we could just wait till March, wait till March and just do it.
I will say
US,
the competitors that are doing it, very brave and bold of you, because again, we don't know what a pro fit model looks like. So everyone's just taking a shot in the dark here. And not only that, is especially for people that aren't from Japan, it's not like an easy trip, right?
Yeah.
It's, it's not cheap and it's not easy. So hats off to you. Yes. Hats off to you competitors that took the plunge and is just going for it and see what happens.
Japan's my favorite place I've been.
Yeah.
That was like the coolest.
They
place.
have, okay. So the Japan IFBB list, because there's a whole other thing with Japan and the separation of another promotion company. But anyway, there's Japan shows I have my eyes on. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love going to Japan.
That I will say that's like, as far as going to like different cultures and stuff, like that was the coolest one. It was the coolest one. That was really fun. So if you guys ever have a chance to get out there as a competitor, you should do it once. It's and stay for extra days. We had a lot of fun on that trip. That was pretty fun. Yeah. They had so many just different things out there, like even items that we don't have out here. Remember how you were like a big girl in Japan at the Adidas store?
Yeah, I was an XL in my leggings. XL, guys, at the Adidas store. And that was a day after my show. So it's not like I blew up.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, it's like they're smaller over there.
It's so because you got our video guy got you what, like medium Adidas pants or something?
Yeah, and they just weren't big enough.
She went back to get on, and then like she got the biggest size and they still weren't big enough. And then the guy's like, that's as big as we got. Like that's how it feels to be like overweight. Like if someone was like, oh, we don't have any sizes bigger. I'm like, you're kidding me. She's 100. Like who isn't this size? Like it's so funny.
I don't know. Maybe things have changed since then.
Yeah.
Who knows? That was 2018. So
they also have, is that the place that has those clothing stores that are called like fat girl clothing stores?
I don't think it's there. I think it's somewhere else.
It's so weird. They have, I think it is
like Calorie Queen.
Or maybe it's Korea. Maybe it's Korea. It says like,
I don't know if it's that either.
Yeah, like Chubby Fit. Like it's all these names that would be so offensive in the United States. But if you look online, you can look up all these like stores are like what do we call our bigger girl stores? What do we call them? Like
I don't know. I don't shop there.
Yeah, I don't know. We have stores,
but for the
like,
men, it's big and tall or something.
Yeah,
right?
So like we call ours like big and tall, or even I don't even think the girl ones. Lane Bryant. I think that's
I don't know.
Name. That's probably like a fit girl store. So, but theirs are all like Chubby Fit, like Calorie Queen, like all these like super. I was like seeing these names, and I was like, this is so crazy. Like it's so crazy that they say it in the store name. Like it's so crazy.
Self-awareness is a beautiful thing, though.
Yeah,
I will say.
Yeah. Hey, they're small for a reason, right? So anyway, we're going into some of these announcements that were made, and I don't know if it's going to be right for you or not, but what's crazy is, okay, just some of the names that you've seen come out. Obviously, Janet Liu, she broke the internet with saying she's coming back doing Fit Model. That is a Bikini Olympia champion of 2020, right? So, that's like pretty recent. I mean, that's a pretty recent winner. Then we have the Masters Bikini champion of 2023, I believe it was. I think it was 2023. And second this year, or second of 2025, Jessica Wilson, who's also made the announcement that she's going to be going to Fit Model too. So we have two Olympia champions, one Masters, one regular Olympia champion, one Open Olympia champion. And then we have Lana, who's been talking about it too, who is the natural, if you want to call her the natural world champion of 2024, the Ben Weider natural champion of that as well. So it's like, man, this is like champions in bikini are going to Fit Model. And it's funny is I still have a lot of like NPC competitors who aren't winning in bikini saying, oh, I'm just way too muscular for Fit Model. I'm like, do you see who's going to Fit Model? Do you see like how good these girls are. We're not talking about girls who like never did what we're talking about champions going to fit model because they're not muscular enough for a bikini anymore. So like maybe a second look, you might want to look at it, you know, where you actually fit. So that's kind of the I've been talking about it forever, you know, so I'm happy to like, people are seeing, I'm like, no guys, it's not what you think it is. It's not people who just do yoga. Like it's not what it's going to be.
Now I want to make this clear too, because there's also, I guess, some chatter online. Some people are pissed that we have bikini competitors, you know, going into fit model because they think it's going to distort the decision. They think that it's kind of gives me the stay out of our group reign or kind of vibes. You know, like stay out of here. I don't like that. Kind of sounds
weak.
You're not an athlete if you think that way. You're not going to do well. I'm so sorry to tell you, you're not. So get that mindset out of your head. First and foremost, you're not entitled to anything here, but also you're thinking of these competitors as you last saw them, and you last saw them on a bikini stage. You last saw them in a bikini shape. And I can guarantee you they're not bringing that look to the fit model. You don't know what they're going to choose on that day. And that's something else we need to make clear, because although these competitors are getting a lot of hype, that doesn't mean they're going to do well either. You know, they could be first, sure, or they could be last. We don't know yet because we have not saw a pro win yet. So calm down, everyone. Calm down. Okay. All right. What I do know of, you know, some of these athletes, it is not an easy task just to maintain the amount of muscle they have. It's not easy. So knowing that fit model is on the horizon, they're not going to be training the same way. They're not going to be getting as lean. So again, get the last time you saw them out of your head, because that's not the look they're going to bring to the fit model stage. It would be silly to bring that look, right? Then you might as well stay in bikini. But these are athletes that, you know, probably have a really hard time keeping the muscle, and I don't blame them. I'm kind of in that boat too. So I understand why someone would want to scoot over to fit model.
It's the people giving them slack for going to a division that's easier for their body and fits them better and is, let's just call it what, they're just afraid of the competition. It's very 2020 pick on Ashley vibes, right? For competing too much, you know, which is, that didn't work out so well for those girls.
Work out.
It did not work out.
Especially if you're bold enough to say this online. Stop. You're embarrassing yourself. I'm embarrassed I'm getting secondhand embarrassment. If you're, especially, like, it's one thing to complain to your coach, right? You know, we're in private. If you're complaining online, I am so embarrassed for you. Stop.
People are doing it. I haven't seen that.
People are doing it online. Stop. I'm embarrassed for you. Or if you're friends with someone, tell them to stop. If you're a good friend, you better tell them to stop.
Tell them to stop. And let's face the reality of it. A lot of these fit model pro cards were given out pretty easily in the early stages. You know, there was 20 girls total competing, 15 girls competing, and you got a pro card, right? That's not going against 100 girls, right? And now you're trying to tell people like Janet to get off your stage. Like, who the hell are you? Like, think about that in context. I beat 15 girls, 12 girls to get my fit model pro card, right? And I'm telling Janet Layug to get off my stage. Like, F off, bro. Like, for real. Like, that is so, you need to slow your roll. Like, she's beaten more girls that have competed in the entire fit model world this year alone. Like, in her whole career, she's beaten more people than have competed, probably. It's probably close, right? The girl's a legend. So, like, you have no right to tell her to not compete in your division, right? That's crazy. She was that division back then. She was like the start of it. That's what it is now. It's just called something different. She's like not really changing division. She's just going back to bikini of 2015, 2018. So guys, like, don't do it. It didn't work out good for the people who said stuff about Ashley. Like, it went terribly for the people who said stuff about Ashley that she was competing too much in 2020? Like, it's not going to work out well for you. I just promise you this right away. So slow it down. If you're saying it, you look bad, remove it off of your Instagram, whatever, because it's not going to age well for you. But what I do want to do is go into like their physiques of what they looked like, you know, back then, and why it makes sense for them to do fit model. Maybe these are some things that you could consider if you're a bikini competitor that's thinking about going to fit model too. But yeah, you told me this today and I was like, you got to be kidding me. People are telling Olympia winners and Ben Weider natural champion winners to like get off their stage when they haven't even been a pro yet, competed in a pro. Who are you? That's so crazy. Can you imagine that? Like, get off my stage. Like, what? That's crazy to the entitlement people have these days.
Uh-huh.
The entitlement. It's like cringe, secondhand cringe
I know.
for
I
those
feel
people.
it.
It's
I
so
feel it
embarrassing. So embarrassing.
Yeah.
So, gosh, I can't believe the audacity, right? The absolute audacity of that. So, yeah, I was like shocked when you told me that today. I was like, what? Like, who would? Oh my God. I'm still like, it's like, it's not even like a mad thing. It's like a hilarity thing. Like, I'm like laughing and like
It's like these
embarrassed for someone.
people like this exists is crazy to me.
It's like seeing, you know what it is? It's like you saw like when you're a kid and kids were a little meaner when we were kids. We're like, well, maybe I was just me, but like you saw a kid in like 8th grade pee himself. Like, it's so embarrassing, but you can't help but laugh at him. But it's like, you kind of feel bad for him at the same time, but it's just funny. You're gonna point, right? It's like, it's one of those things. It's like, you just kind of, you kind of peed on yourself.
Yeah. And just as a reminder, you're working this all up in your head, and who knows who's going to win. We don't know. It could be someone that we've not even heard of before, someone that's not even on our radar, someone that we didn't even like, maybe even competed and wasn't like a star, like fit model off the bat. But on that day, this is what they want, because that first winner is going to be very important to kind of show everyone else what they're kind of going for. So,
yeah,
we'll see.
So
Exciting.
That was a fun little spice.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my Bruce Lee shirt today. I think that's what happened. I got it on my fight emote.
Oh.
Beat like water. All right. So let's go ahead and look at, so I wanted to go and bring up, first, let's go ahead and bring up Janet Lejeune. I think that would be a good person to kind of start with and if you're listening on podcast, we have this on YouTube. Just go /YouTube/ Team Elite Physique. And we'll pull up, you'll see the pictures there if you want to see this on it. And if not, just listen, we'll describe it as well. But I want to pull up first Janet of 2015. Remember, we're not looking for Janet of 2020 when she won the Olympia. That wouldn't make much sense, right? So that's the thing. What Janet are we going to see, right? Are we going to see this Janet of 2015? Or are we going to see, a mixture of kind of the density now that she has and 2015, 2014,
Mm-hmm.
So you're an athlete. It's difficult to, bring down density.
Yeah, that's the thing. If there's going to be something that is holding her back, is how much density can she lose? Because we've just seen her compete as a bikini competitor just a few years ago, 2022, I think. So how much muscle can we get off, I guess, in that period of time? Because it's it's not as easy as people think. But I would also say this as well, just as a little extra context here. So we're looking at this picture here in 2015. I competed with her in 2015. I got first, she got second, I believe. And I don't know what her feedback was, but I can actually only assume it might even be here that they might have told her she's too muscular.
Shoulders are a little capped here.
Yeah, because, all right, I'll be honest with you. When they made the Fit Medal announcement, right, one of my thoughts was like, I'm very flattered, but why didn't you use Janet? Like, I feel like she looks more fit model. And now that I see the photo, it might be because they don't want it to be as muscular as we're seeing in this photo. When I competed in 2015, I definitely was softer and less muscular than her. So maybe that's the reason. So all that to say, we're looking at her in 2015, but that even still might be too much. You know, if we're really looking to it, I think that like her stage presence and beauty and stuff definitely helps her a lot, for sure. So I don't know. I'm saying the reason she got second in 2015 might have been due to the reason she was just too muscular.
Yeah, if you look at her shoulders and look at yours.
Yeah, I was a lot more toned down. So she definitely beats me in every other department. So that's my only guess as to why I won and she didn't. Yeah,
possibly. You're just that damn good, Ashley Cotwell, sir. So let's go ahead and look at her from the back now too. Sorry guys, I'm actually not, I don't do these too often, so I'm a little bit slow on the on changing these out. But looking at her from the back too. Here's the thing with her from the back, she has a little bit of tie-ins too, and this is 2015. I do think that based on what they're saying in the criteria, that her hamstrings are a little lean, right? A little bit separated in the hamstrings back then, and a little bit too much tie-in for what they're saying. But this might be, it was around back then, so it's not like it wasn't around.
That's true. And I also want to say this: if you look at this photo, and I feel really bad for the people who are only listening because you're not going to be able to understand this. She is quite hinged in this photo. She does not pose like that anymore.
Oh, that's true. She's pretty. She is
in this back shot where she's hinged. Keep in mind, if she's a little more upright, it might not, the tie-ins might not be as prominent, but it does seem that in Fit Model, that's a big deal breaker, is to have like full crispy tie-ins, So I'm wondering if she stands up just a little more upright here, that she can kind of hide a little more tie-in. Because I think for her physique, it's not, she'll have to kind of hide muscle rather than accentuate the muscle.
Yeah.
So she would already be on the probably more muscular side of it. But again, we don't know. We haven't seen her on stage in a few years. So
yeah. So so we'll see there too. And the other thing too is her hamstrings will be more separated the more hinged she is too. Like she'll actually look more detailed in the hamstring. So yeah. So let's go ahead and look at so is that one, we got to figure out, is that actually what we're going to be seeing? Is that the actual look, that we're going to be seeing from Janet, or is it going to be something entirely different? So let's go ahead and bring up, I think bringing up Lana from the back actually makes a lot of sense too, for what people can be, kind of looking for. And when she was saying that she wanted to do it, I was like, it makes perfect sense for her. Because, she's never had the density, she never won a open pro show, but she's done really well in the natural pro shows, so it makes a lot of sense for these natural girls who don't have the density to their glutes. Some girls can do it naturally, but very, very few can. But she just never had the density, never had the crazy tie-ins like that these other girls had. So for her, it made a lot of sense. I do think, we're looking at her legs, and Ashley was like, I think her legs are probably a little bit too developed.
Maybe a little quad heavy. But then again, she's aiming to do this. Like, that's purposeful.
Yeah.
What happens if she stops training as intensely or specifically for bikini? Same thing with the upper body too. Upper body might be a bit much, but then again, look how she's posing. She could relax the arms a little bit and hide a little more of that development. But also, again, the same thing with the lower body. She's probably training to look like a bikini competitor. So what happens if she trains like a fit model?
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So it's going to be a totally different thing. And the one thing I'll say is that these girls have, a big advantage in terms of their stage presence and experience on stage. So that's where like the biggest thing comes in. But physique wise, who knows? They might be at a disadvantage.
Again, everyone's working up this concoction in their head that this is going to be the new thing and they're going to take over.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't wish them last, but it could happen.
Yeah. So
it could be like, this is exactly what we don't want.
Yeah. You know what I mean? She's just way too muscular, and then let's go ahead and bring up Jessica Wilson too. Now, this is her most recent Olympia. I think, you could see in like the upper glutes on Jessica, she needs a little bit more fullness of the upper glutes and just some more of overall density. When you look at like density on an athlete, you look for that like hardness of the muscle. And that's what she was talking about. She's like, I just don't have the density that these other girls do and the fullness that they have. She's just a little person. She was like, I'm just little, I just don't have that density. And so, this is, she has a little bit of tie-in, probably a little bit much for it, but we can look back at her pictures when she was competing in 2015 as well and see where she was at. But the density just was never at the, the top tier. She always did good at even pro shows. She'd always be top 5 at pro shows, but it was always that little bit that was holding her back. She won the Masters Olympia.
She's won pro shows too.
Yeah. She's won
open pro shows.
Yeah. And it's always one of those things where it's like, when she gets to the Olympia stage or whatever, she just, she gets outsized, she gets out densitied, if that's a word, but she just, that's just, her body just doesn't do it. So for her, it makes a lot of sense to downsize a little bit. It'll be easier for her to stay there. She could probably compete more often. She's not someone who blows up too. So she could probably compete more often and not worry about dieting down and losing muscle.
Yeah. She said she already kind of walks around with like a fit model physique, but I will say this too. I saw her at the seminar last weekend, and what's cool about the women's seminar is that you can see a representative from each division, anywhere from fit model to open women's bodybuilding. And looking at a photo, you don't really grasp how different the sizes are, right? With a standalone photo, you might think she looks just as big as me. But when you get us next to each other, you can see the difference. So again, going back to what I was saying about the women's seminar, you had like fit model, bikini, figure, blah, 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 blah. So it's so cool to see even like the women's open next to women's physique, there is a huge difference. But if you just look at the photos, it doesn't look that drastically different until you stand next to them. So that's something I also want you guys to keep in mind too. You're looking at these bikini competitors and you think they're super huge, but maybe not as much once you stand next to them. And Jessica, I noticed she was quite small in comparison to even the bikini competitors that were there that day. So that just goes to show you maybe it's more fitting for her just for her structure, just because she's a tinier person.
Yeah.
For her structure would be more suited for fit model. So maybe not even thinking of like muscle necessarily, but her structure is quite small.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to, I think, is just the muscle. This muscle belly size is just smaller. Her structure is smaller. Her bones are more petite, you know? And so
I thought I was a small person, but she is definitely way smaller than me.
Yeah, there's a XXS, you know? So here's Jessica from the back in, I think this is 2015 when she competed and she got third at this pro show. So, you know, we got to remember, this is probably, I mean, we're not sure where she's going to shoot for, but this would probably make a lot of sense. You know, the tie-ins aren't as crispy. Glutes still look round and full. Legs are still developed. And, you know,
I think that's pretty good representation of what, well, I'm assuming what they're going to want more of like this.
I feel like this is the best one we've seen.
Yes,
so far.
Because you can still see she has like glute development, but she doesn't have complete tie-ins either. And here in this particular photo, when is this? 2015. Her legs are overly muscular. Upper body doesn't seem to be an issue. You can still see she has an hourglass shape. I think this would be a great representation of what fit model would be. But question is she able to bring this to fit model? Because again, to lose muscle, it's not as easy as people might think. But then again, it kind of does seem like she's fighting to keep the muscle on to begin with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, and, you know, the good thing is when she's dieting down, she doesn't have to worry about losing that density, losing that size anymore. Just, you know, it can come down, it's fine.
Keep in mind too, with these bikini competitors, you're seeing them at a conditioning level suited for bikini. But what happens if they're 5 pounds softer? Yeah, that changes things.
That's going to be a weird thing, though. I don't know how much softer they're going to be. Right?
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy because if Maureen is the criteria for bikini standard right now, like that's how much softer than that can you get, right? Because it's not like everyone's like, you know, like Issa or Evie on stage. Like there's not everyone's that, you know, like that's not a bikini as a standard, that's someone who looks good that lean. And then where does because Janet in 2015 was probably leaner or lean as at least Maureen in 2025 on his Olympia. So how much softer can you go? You know, I don't know how that's going to go. I'm really confused about that part of it, of what's going to be the level. Obviously it's going to be a range, but how do you go softer than bikini if that's the current softness acceptability, right?
Right.
So that's going to be the strange one. And you can't be too soft. You're not going to show anything. You're not going to show tie-ins at all or nothing.
Yeah. And of course, especially as a pro, you're going to have a more impressive physique than an amateur would, you know? So it's interesting.
The fit model one is the conditioning on the fit model for the pros is going to be very interesting. I mean, it's going to I think at the pro level, it's going to be very similar to the non-extreme girls in bikini, like the non-EVs, the you know, Issas and stuff, you know, like, but yeah, like similar to probably like the Maureens and stuff, you know, so I don't know. We'll see. That's the one where it's like, there's so much crossover on, you know, I don't know where it's going to be. You know, that definition of it is going to be very up in the air, I think, until we get like 3 pro shows. But luckily we have like Sandy's judging that show, right? Yeah, that's the best person for that first show. Thank God for Sandy to be judging that show, you know, because that's going to set a strong precedent of, hey, this is what we want. This is too much. Poor Sandy though, she's gonna make that like hard line, right? Yeah. Good for her. It's great that she's in that position, but I also feel bad for her being in that position.
She's probably like, oh, that's a lot.
It's a lot, man. You're defining something, you know?
All eyes on you, yeah. And I want to say this to you, all right? And okay, so whoever they choose for the first one, I hope to God they are on a little more of a softer, less muscular side, right? For the sake of bikini. Okay, I'll be honest, because I get there could be a little concern that if they start off the bat too hard, too muscular, then that kind of pushes bikini up a little bit, because the thing is, you have to make a clear difference between bikini and fit model. Okay. There has to be a clear indication. Like you have to look at some and be like, oh, they're definitely fit model. Oh, they're definitely bikini, right? Because you could say that for every division. Every division looks a little different, except for fitness and figure. Okay, there's an argument there because but they're not going to have like figure look like women's physique. Women's physique shouldn't look like bodybuilding. Okay. So I hope that whoever they choose, they are a little on the softer, less muscular side, because I don't want to be in a position stuck between divisions. Okay. I guess now a little bit on the smaller side for bikini.
You just got to the max.
I just don't want it to get any bigger or leaner than it already is. It's hard to keep up with. I can't, like, the muscles, like, it's not easy to hold on to, that's for sure. And yeah, I don't want to be stuck in between, like not big enough for bikini, but it's already kind of too late to do fit model. I will say this, if this was 2020 or below, I would switch to fit model for sure. I would, but I'm already in too deep. We're in too deep now. Okay. I mean, I've been top 5 for the past, like, I don't know how long, 5 or 6 years. So I probably should stay where I'm at. But there was a few year period where I was like 6th and 7th place. And I kept getting the feedback, I'm too small, I'm too small, I'm too small. You know,
yeah, would have made sense then.
That I would have totally switched to fit model, be like, oh, this is perfect timing. But now I'm in too deep. So I'm
just swim. Swim.
I'm still on that bikini island right now. All right. So I don't want there to be any pushing up of bikini. Please, for the love of God, I didn't sign up for this. Okay. I did not sign up for this. Let's chill.
It would be a tragedy if they like let fit model like the second year get to where bikini is at, like this year or last year.
Yeah.
Judges, come on. We created the division because of what happened. We can't keep going in the circle of like the judges saying, well, we could only award what the coaches bring, and the coaches are like, well, we could only get you on stage ready for what the judges award. It's like this constant cyclical battle where I'm like, no, it's always the judges. We will always do what it takes to win, but like, please tone it down. Keep this division, just this division, Just
keep it here.
Yeah, yes, the poor guys. They have bodybuilding in board shorts, bodybuilding in bigger trunks, and bodybuilding in full trunks. That's all they have is bodybuilding.
You guys have it worse. I shouldn't complain too much.
Just don't do this to bikini or to fit model.
Yes, let's keep it.
Please,
let's
guys,
tone it down a bit. Okay?
More isn't always better. Not in this one, guys. Come on, give them somewhere to compete. Give us 5 years. Give us hopefully more. We'll see. Let's come back to this podcast in 5 years and see where the division is. Let's go ahead and look at Jessica in like 2015 too. So this is where she was, and I think she looks great, but I do think based on what we're hearing, this is a little lean, on the. I mean, she has a crazy waistline, great waistline.
Yeah.
I mean, nuts, right? And a little lean and a little capped in the shoulders. So we'll see. Let's see what they go with.
Very cool time to witness as a bystander. If I was fit model, I'd be like really stressed. Like, I hope I'm doing what I need to. I hope I'm bringing the right package.
Yeah, it's gonna, like anything, it's gonna take a few shows to really define it.
Yeah, but that the first show of the year is going to be a big hint to how the whole year is going to go. And it's awesome too that there's already a big roster, so that's going to really even solidify more that they're going to choose the right person, because it's one thing, like just like the first show, right? There was like 10 competitors or something total or something like that.
Yeah.
Unlike that scenario, there's a bigger pool to choose from. So it's more likely they're going to find exactly what they're looking for within that big pool rather than a small little show. Right. Yeah. So I'm happy to see that the range is going to be much wider. So.
Yeah, I was a little worried with it being in Japan. I was like, oh, that can't be the first show. There's not going to be anyone there. It's going to be like 6 girls, and this is going to be like, it's going to set a precedent. So I'm really happy to hear that all these girls are doing it.
Yeah.
I was really worried that was going to be it. I was like, if like 6 shredded girls show up, like everyone's going to think, oh, they're all shredded.
Yeah.
That's it,
Oh, they're going shredded now. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, the pro level shredded. Like, I was like, please don't be like that. So, so good. Yeah. I guess we'll see what happens here.
I'm going to read this comment. It says, personally, as a fit model pro debuting this year, the Janet announcement is pushing me to work even harder, knowing she'll be sharing the stage with us. Definitely a fire in me to work harder. I love that. Yes.
Who wouldn't think that, right?
Yes. But I would also add on to that, don't try to mimic conditioning levels or muscle, because like I said, everyone thinks they know what they're going to choose, but do they know? Because you could be shooting yourself in the foot here, trying to match someone's conditioning level when who knows, that person might get last. We don't know.
Yeah.
I don't hope that to happen, but we don't know. We don't have anything to go off of. So
like, how cool would it be to like, you were like, because this is the fit model path for this year. And that's why I'm so shocked by that they were saying these things. Like the fit model path for this year was like, oh, I've never been muscular enough for a bikini. Oh, cool. They created this new division. I fit perfect for it. I'm going to compete. I got a pro card. And then you're like, you know, this division was created to give you a path. And then now all of a sudden you're competing against a legend in the sport, like the same year, right? Or like within a calendar year. And it's like, wow, what a crazy life circumstances happen. But I can't imagine being the girl that's like, oh, well, then she should stay in her own, like she shouldn't compete on my stage. And I'm like, you didn't even have a stage like a year ago. And, what are you talking about?
And I just want to emphasize, everyone's thinking of them as a bikini competitor. They're not thinking of them as what they used to look like, you know? So
yeah, who knows what it's going to be like. I'm very excited. Hopefully we'll see some update pictures too and see how they're all looking. You know what's though with Janet, like I don't think I've ever seen a picture of her where she didn't look like she was 6 weeks from a show. Like she's been in shape her whole life. Like I've seen her like since I've seen her in like on stage, I've never seen her where I was like, man, she's really getting soft. Like she just always looks fit, you know? I think that has something to do with like how she's aging so well too. Like she's like, looks just like she did like 10 years ago. Like how do you're like a time machine? Like she doesn't age a day, you know? I think it's just, you stay lean, and that's what we talk about. So you stay lean and your skin stays tight and everything looks good.
I would say the same about her.
Jessica. Yeah, just 100%. Yeah.
She's also keeps it nice and tight.
And she looks, she's a master's and she's, you know, she looks way younger than a master's would be. So something to be said about that too. So I guess with that, do we have anything else to talk about this issue?
I would say, because we're bringing up masters and everything else, you know, I'm going to say this as well. I think in bikini, you would have a little more of an advantage as a younger competitor. I think that's the case for
in bikini.
Oh, I'm sorry. Fit model.
Say, okay. Yeah.
Oh my God. No, sorry. Rewind. In fit model.
I was going to say, I disagree.
No.
Yeah. In bikini. 100%.
Okay. So in fit model, you will have an advantage being a younger competitor. And here's why. Your skin will be a little thicker, muscle development, not as you're not going to be grainy, right? It's harder to be grainy and have that dense look when you're younger, right? That comes with muscle maturity. And as you get older, your skin thins out a little bit, which is actually helpful for bikini and above. Like you don't want super thick skin in those divisions because you do need to see some definition. Now, when you're younger and your skin is thicker, more supple, you're actually going to have an advantage here. And you can, you know, build a little muscle without having separation because they don't want to see separation, right? So if you're a younger competitor, just know you probably have a little bit of an advantage in fit model. Okay. So yeah, I think that's where most of the younger competitors will end up being. And something we've noticed in bikini is bikini competitors are a little bit older these days because it takes time to build that muscle and build that density, right? You tend to see bikini competitors like at least in the mid to late 20s start to do well. Whereas you might see very early 20s start to do well in fit model.
Yeah. I would even say now bikini competitors are like early 30s. I mean, it's pretty rare you're getting someone in like that 25 age range that's doing
which is funny because sometimes I'll get like asked like, so what do you think of all these young girls in their early 20s you got to compete against? Like, aren't you afraid? I'm like, you're funny. Who, like all three of them?
Yeah, exactly. It's like the 32-year-olds.
And if honestly, not to sound like too mean, but if they're usually like in the later call outs because they're so young. So it's not really in your advantage to be early 20s in bikini. It's going to take you a little more time. Yeah. So I'm just like,
you see that in all the divisions that are more muscular and more lean, like you see it in figure too. And it's just, I mean, there's some that are going to be able to have that, like, in that skin that just gets super tight when they're like, Issa was a good example. When she was like 21, she was like tight like that. But most it's really hard to get them that look if they're super young.
Yes.
Some it's like it's just not even an option. For some.
Yes. And I want to make that clear too. I'm not saying somebody can't do well in the early 20s. I'm not saying anything like that. And I'm not saying that an older competitor can't do well in fit model. I'm saying like exceptions versus the norm, right?
Yep.
So I'm not talking about that one off. I know you have a friend has super crispy tie-ins.
If you look at the group, it'd be most would be in the middle.
Yes, yes. We're talking about averages here. So that's just something to keep in mind too. Okay. So before you start freaking out that all of these retired bikini competitors are going to take your spot, chill.
Yeah, there's a lot to play out now.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember though, the good bikini competitors that are going to fit model have good structures. That has already been identified. Like they do well on the pro level for a reason. And when you get to that like pro level on these divisions, a lot of it is structurally based. You know, it's like you have to have the structure to start with. You have to have the muscle bellies to start with. Everything else you could build off of that. But once you identify, okay, she's a good pro, she's got a good structure. So probably likely to do well just on that alone if everything else can fit the criteria. So, yeah, I guess that's it. A lot of people here that said they saw you at the seminar.
Yeah, a lot of people from the seminar here. Nice to see you again. Happy Monday to you too, Veronica.
We have a big seminar this weekend for our team.
Yes, we do.
So we probably won't have a podcast Monday because
Oh, we're not? News to me.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm telling you now because I'm gonna be doing stuff all Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with everyone. Like breakfast on Sunday and stuff on Saturday, and like it's a lot of work. I probably have to catch up on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, just because I'll have to catch. I won't be able to get to all my emails and all that stuff on Sunday like I usually do. Because it's like I think we're going to breakfast on Sunday at the bagel place. We're going to, all day Saturday. The thing Saturday. Then there's events Saturday night. There's like sushi. What else are we doing? There's sushi.
Friday night is sushi.
Friday night sushi. Kimber makes this.
Saturday is Cheesecake Factory.
Is it? Okay. So we have a big Team Elite retreat. We're going to go over a bunch of stuff.
I'm proud of you for going to get to bagels at 7:30 a.m. on Sunday, though.
You know what's crazy? I've like soul switched. They know me there. I go there like 3 times a week, like at 6 in the morning.
You're going to be, oh my God.
They know my order. They know my,
You're an early bird these days.
I know. I'm like, it just happens. When you get, past when you're past 40, you start just going to bed at like 9, 10, you wake up at 6, 5:30, you're just like getting to work. And it's so funny. Yeah. Do I go to the bagel place and they all know me there and get my bagel, go to the gym, do my studying at the gym and like in the sauna when I'm waiting. And then I go work out. I'm at like before like 7, I get all this stuff done. Is that crazy?
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the weekend. Lots of events from at the Team Elite Physique headquarters here and extracurriculars too. So
yeah. And then if you're not part of the team, the next weekend after that, we have Colt Fitness. We have an open posing seminar.
Yes, so you don't have to be part of the team for that one.
Nope.
February 7th.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And those are getting bigger and bigger. We're actually going to use the other posing rooms now. They're getting so big. So those are super fun. I'm really enjoying those in the community that's creating. So a bunch of giveaways too. So, and then is there one more after that? There's something
for me,
for you. Yeah.
I have a few more.
The Arnold, right? The Arnold one.
Yes.
In Ohio. So
there's one. I'm doing one for Spectrum February 21st. And then Medina, Ohio, Medina in the house, Medina, Northeast Ohio. Where you at? Where are my Ohio people at? Hey, you'd think, but you know something? Last weekend, I was just like talking with some girls. I found 2 girls from Northeast Ohio just at the event.
Oh yeah.
And that's just because we happened to talk about it. But like, imagine how many people.
Yeah, I will say there's a shocking number of high level people that come out of that place. LeBron
Ohio.
James,
Ohio.
Jake Paul, Logan Paul, right? I mean, like, it's not like when someone comes out of there who's like a top person of performer or something, I'm not surprised by it anymore. I'm not like, oh, you came out of like Ohio? Like, that's kind of crazy. Like Akron, Ohio, like Cleveland, whatever. Like, it makes sense. It's a major city, but like Akron, Ohio, like what's out there?
I still identify as an Ohioan. Like, my personality is very Ohio.
You think so?
Yeah, I know so.
Okay. I guess I don't know, but you seem converted to like a LA girl for me.
What?
Yeah.
I'm offended.
Is it? Well, I'm an LA boy, so like you
think I'm that pretentious and like what's that supposed to mean?
I guess
not to say all LA people are pretentious.
I guess
but
it's
definitely a stereotype. It's a stereotype.
Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on what part of LA you're talking to, right? I guess my part of LA was a little different. But yeah. Okay.
LA girl. High maintenance.
You
and
were there.
everything.
You were there.
I was there.
You appear.
There's a
you
reason I'm
appear
not
that
there
way
anymore.
though. You just don't. You,
You
aren't.
really?
You're. I
I
mean,
don't think so, Adam. I dress like a homeless person.
no, like
all
your
the time.
look. You're attractive woman.
Maybe
That's like
for
a
one
LA
day of the week, but every other day I'm like in a ponytail and just in
That's true.
my
That is true.
glasses. You know,
That's true. Yeah,
But-
you're right.
I appreciate the compliment,
It's a good thing. Yeah, it's not bad.
but a better compliments for people.
Okay.
Ohio.
Okay. You and Ashley, you look like Ohio.
Okay, so I feel bad now because I feel like I'm just dissing everyone from LA. I want to emphasize.
No, I think that's a whole thing.
not everyone from LA is like that. It's just stereotype.
This parts. It's parts. It depends
mean,
on where you're from.
Yeah, and I will
It's
say
very
when
different in LA.
I lived there for 4 years, I was in Hollywood, so probably not the
you were
best.
in like the most,
M-
probably
not-
the worst part of it
not-
when it comes to that.
not the best representation, but there's a reason I'm not there anymore.
You go to like East LA, it's just, it's cool, man. Like people are just nice and invite you to the barbecue and it's just like different, It's just,
And when I was in LA, it was so annoying. Everyone thought they were someone special, and it was so annoying. I'm just like,
yeah.
you're not, I don't know who you are. You're not special. Stop
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you
Like,
get a lot. That's definitely more.
Don't you know who I
that's
am?
more
Kind
inner,
of.
That's more inner LA. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't
That's
you
not
know who I
outskirts.
am?
Like,
That's
or you go to like Orange County area, it's like people are very normal. It's
Yeah.
like, it's just cool people, So
well, anyway.
yeah, Huntington Beach is probably one of the coolest places.
Oh,
like
yeah,
people wise there. That's like that's a really like the people there are like, I always say it's like Hawaiians are super cool, but it's like Americanized Hawaiians. Or it's like, I guess Caucasian Hawaiians, I guess you'd say, but there's like a good mixture, but it's like everyone like seems like Hawaiian vibe there, but it's just just so chill. So that's if I didn't care about the taxes, that's probably where I would like, or poker. That's where but I'm a Vegas guy now. All right. Anyway, with that, that's our, we had to get a ramble in. We had to get a ramble. All right. Thanks guys so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you later.